If you don't vote for Trump, you're voting for Hillary. That's what we never Trumpers have heard for months now. It's a binary choice. You're either for Trump or you're for Hillary. Is there none of the above in your world, Horatio? Well, I had to deal with that in my last few appearances on Constitution Radio. I thought, wow, we gotta stop Hillary! Yeah, but Trump's just as bad. Oh, it can't be worse than Hillary! Hillary's worse than Satan! No, she's not worse than Satan. Should it be Obama's third term? Yeah, absolutely she would. Why isn't that enough? And if you wanted to stop that, then don't nominate Trump. Once Trump has the nomination, then he's just as bad as she is. How can you support either one of them? This is what I have described as the centrifugal pull of partisan tribalism. Well, we gotta close ranks. We gotta stop Hillary. With what? Somebody who's just like her? How is that a good thing? How is that helping us? We want to put our socialist in instead of their socialist? How does that make any sense? And that's, of course, the whole point. It doesn't. It's the Hillary Clinton Scarecrow phenomenon. And that's what I diligently tried to point out to Mr. Gibbs. He didn't want to listen. Or rather, his pocketbook didn't want to listen. Because a lot of his followers are Trumplicans. And they were pulling their money out of his pocket. So, well, you got to tone it down and you got to stop writing about Trump. And I said, bullshit. You ought to know me better than that. I'm not going to submit to anything like that. I am an advocacy journalist. What I say and what I believe. What I believe is what I say. And I said it on the air on KMET 1490 AM. I will never tailor my views or what I say on the air or in pixels to my audience. I say what I think. If you like it, great. If you don't like it, you don't have to listen. You don't have to watch. But this is where I stand. This is what I believe. And the bottom line, as Leon Wolf pointed out the other day at Red State, is that I am an adult and you cannot scare me with Hillary Clinton. Now, I just sat through an entire week of illustrious party luminaries attempting to scare me, to scare us. In the course of trying to get me and people like me on board with voting for Trump, there was almost nothing offered in the way of reasons why voting for Trump is a good thing, but only repeated assurances that if Hillary Clinton gets elected, the Republic will be over! Of course, the Republic was over years ago when Barack Obama was elected, and it ain't coming back. So you're trying to scare me with the specter of something that's already happened. Ain't coming back with Trump either. In a bit of hilarious lack of self-awareness, elected Republicans on television repeatedly intoned that the election of Hillary Clinton would be a third Obama term, apparently blissfully unaware that Barack Obama is way more popular than Hillary Clinton and even more popular relative to Trump. Now look, I am a grown adult. Just look at me, all right? I don't look under my bed at night for the boogeyman, and I don't require a nightlight to sleep. I've watched with relative interest every presidential election since 1980. I know the game. I have heard every election that the Republicans try to scare people with all the horrible things that will happen if the Democrats are elected. And when they are elected, they pretty much come true. And Democrats try to scare the public with all the horrible things that will happen if the Republican is elected, which is all psychological projection. Until 2016, anyway. It's a time-honored political tradition, and I suppose it works on some people, but I am not a bleating sheep who is without a functional long-term memory. I've lived through both Republican and Democrat administrations that were not to my liking. Heck, I remember the first Clinton administration. Well, obviously, a lot of stuff happened that was not what I would have preferred politically, but the country soldiered on. Democrats acted like George W. Bush was evil incarnate, but the country lived through that as well. Obama's been a disaster. Not much of the country is still here, but some of it is. The country will survive Hillary Clinton. Note the choice of terms. The country will survive Hillary Clinton because she's going to be the next president of the United States. It didn't have to be this way, but Trumplicans made it inevitable. It'll be worse off than it was before, but that's the choice Republicans made when they nominated Donald Trump. I don't like it, but I've been on the losing side of elections before, and the next day the sun still rises in the east. Save your scaremongering for someone who could be convinced that these are not the droids you're looking for. This tactic rings especially hollow in this election, given that the Republican alternative is doubtless much scarier in terms of the potential damage he can do to the country, the Republican Party, and the world as a whole. Just last week, his rhetoric on Estonia caused us to again wonder exactly how cozy with Vladimir Putin he really is. But even worse, Trump celebrated his nomination at the RNC with a bizarre, unhinged, homeless person pushing a cart rant that once again dredged up the facially insane conspiracy theories about Ted Cruz's father being involved in JFK's assassination. A smear that Trump the next day on CNN on last Friday not only doubled down on, defended, but I swear to God I'm not making this up, Donald Trump called for the National Enquirer to be given a Pulitzer Prize based on that smear. I am not making that up. God, I wish I was. My imagination isn't that good, frankly. Again, this is not ideological disagreement territory. This is Trump is mentally unhinged territory. If Trump is willing to believe and publicly espouse crazy stuff that he reads in the National Enquirer, what might he do as president with the command of the entire military at his fingertips? Now, no, Trumplicans. That is scary. Sorry, it's way scarier than whatever Hillary Clinton might do. And we know what she's going to do. Even though what Mrs. Clinton might do would be horrible, terrible, Trump is worse. At least as bad. However, as P.J. O'Rourke has noted, while Mrs. Clinton is wrong on everything, she's wrong within normal parameters. Trump is not. And you can't scare me with Mrs. Clinton when the alternative you are offering is pretty much obviously worse. Along that same line, ladies and gentlemen, here is why Never Trump spends more time attacking Donald Trump than Hillary Clinton. Now, the short version, this is Kyle Foley, by the way, at Red State. Now, the short version is, hey, we have been criticizing and attacking Hillary Clinton for a quarter of a century. Nobody can hold a candle to us when it comes to going after Hillary. But Donald Trump is just like her, and that's invaded our own turf, or what was our own turf. Somebody goes after somebody you know, that's one thing. When they invade your home, that's something else. If you're not firmly in the Never Trump camp, you have probably found yourself asking, why do these Never Trumpers spend more time attacking the Republican nominee than they do attacking crooked lion Hillary? Well, the simple answer is we don't. Not in the big picture. As I say, many of us have been criticizing Hillary Clinton for upwards of 25 years since she's been on the national stage. Way, way before many Trumplicans paid a lick of attention to politics at all. And back when Trump himself was calling her an amazing commissar of state, which he truly believes. One of the most common phrases you'll hear from a never-Trumper is, I am never Trump and never Hillary. None of the above. The idea is that we don't want to be forced to choose between two New York liberal con men, or women, the case may be, so we just will not. It's not a binary choice. There are many choices. Oh, you're throwing your vote away. Am I? Am I? Voting for a socialist on the Republican ticket seems to me to be the epitome, the definition of throwing your vote away. If that is, you're still actually a conservative. I can see, however, how it comes across like we spend most of our time attacking Trump. In recent months, yes, we have probably spent more time attacking Trump than Hillary, and here's why. As I said at the start of this segment, when a wolf infiltrates the herd, you will want to spend your time attacking it instead of the wolf 3 miles away that you have spent the last 8 years viciously beating up. Donald Trump is a wolf that has infiltrated the GOP on behalf of the Democrats and Hillary Clinton. His every word is an affront to conservatism, and we feel the need to fight that. Gee, who'da thunk? Who'da thunk it? When he calls for the dismantling of important and strategic alliances, we call him out on it. When he claims to be pro-life but then praises Planned Parenthood, we call him out on it. When he calls for the restrictions of free speech and free trade, we call him out on it. When he acts and sounds and walks and talks like a Democrat, we call him what he is. I understand that for many that isn't enough. The idiotic cries of, but Hillary! But the Supreme Court! But party loyalty! Will continue to echo because people don't want to face reality. Here's the reality. Your own candidate, Trumplicans, will not attack Hillary Clinton. In fact, when asked about it, Trump said he didn't attack her much because it bored him. He got tired of it. And there's a very simple and straightforward reason for that. He doesn't really oppose her. He's just like her. Cut from the same cloth, from the same crowd. He is Hillary Clinton. When Mrs. Clinton has news break that would otherwise tank her campaign, Trump goes on to praise the likes of Saddam Hussein. You see, Trump has made it a habit of attacking negative Clinton news cycles, or hijacking, almost as if it's their plan. It's interesting. Even in recent weeks, with the nomination locked up, Trump has spent more time criticizing other Republicans than he has spent criticizing Mrs. Clinton. Yet Trumplicans act like he has done nothing wrong because, of course, he's their God. And gods are infallible. So next time you want to yell at a never-Trump voter for not criticizing Hillary Clinton, know this. We will push back against liberal candidates and liberal ideology wherever it may be, but when it infiltrates the conservative movement, that will become our main focus. You have been warned.